What's the easiest way of sowing peas for a continuous harvest so you can get an early start to the season, so you can continue to get peas throughout the growing season? Keep watching and I'm going to show you exactly how. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name's Mutin and this is my family garden. And on this channel we grow all our fruits and vegetables in our backyard. If you like that sort of thing, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so you get a notification for whenever I put a video out like this. Sowed some peas in some guttering a couple of weeks ago. Now those peas have got to about 4 inches tall and they're ready to be planted out. So today we're going to plant those peas out and I'll give you some ideas on how to sow them for a continuous harvest. So peas like a fertile, well-drained soil in a sunny location like this. Now if the soil is nice and dry, what you can do is you can just dig a flat bottom trench and plant the peas directly into there. But when the soil's cold and when the soil's damp, it's likely that those peas that you plant will suffer from the cold and wet and they'll rot. So that's one of the reasons that we go for the gutter method and plant into gutters and then plant out once they've established. And it gives us that earlier start to the season as well. The other thing is that if you suffer from problems with mice and rats, etc., if you plant them out directly, you're not in a position to protect them. But if you plant them with the gutters, then what you can do is you can cover them up with some fleece or you can cover them up with some wire mesh and protect them from pests such as mice, rats, pigeons. And because you can put the gutter into the greenhouse, you can get that earlier start to the season. So I started my peas off towards the end of March, and that's why we've got some established plants that we can plant out in mid-April. So it's 2 or 3 weeks and we've got 6-inch plants that we can plant directly into the garden. Peas are a cool weather crop, so you can sow peas right the way from March all the way up to June and they'll do fine. But you can only sow in March if you've got a nice soil and the soil's warm. If the soil's cold, you will have the problems that I mentioned earlier. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you a demonstration of the gutter method. If you go and have a look at the video that I did about 5 fast growing crops, you can see me planting these very peas out. Because peas don't like their roots being disturbed, you can go for planting them in pots, or you can use these loo roll middles and plant the whole thing direct. When I plant them like this, I use them as plug plants, and when I plant them in pots, I do use them like this to fill gaps. With the gutter method, I can plant a full row of peas in one go, and I'll show you exactly how we do the gutter method. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dig a narrow trench into the soil here. This is where I've got my potatoes planted in wood chips. I'm just digging a narrow trench and I'm going to drop my peas from my gutter into this. So now that I've made my trench, I'm just going to loosen the bottom of the soil up. And then my peas can go straight into there. Now if you wanted to, you could add some fertiliser, slow release fertiliser into this trench. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to opt for adding mulch to the top. So these peas planted in the gutter, what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen the sides first of all. What you to do is stand up straight, hold that. Can you hold that? Get closer, hold it high. That's it, you hold it there. So you hold it and I'll start moving some of these out.
It's like it's a little slide.
There we go. Put it down. Put it down. Put it down. There we go, that's the next section out. So what I'm doing as we're taking out a section, I'm just making sure that the soil's filling in around it. Then we can do that. Start from that side. So they are getting a bit squished up. So it's okay. It's okay. So we'll just spread these out and bury them back in. That's it. So they can slide out there as well. Put that down there. There's the last few that have gone in. So we've got another pot of peas here as well. So these will go in as well. That will nicely fill that gap. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread them out so they fill out there. The theory with planting them like this is because I've got them next to my potatoes, they'll feed the potatoes. So this is a way of companion planting. So we're going to get the pea frame up straight away, and what we're using is recycled canes from last year, and these are just sticks from the privet clippings, because we want to get these canes up as fast as possible, because what you don't want is you don't want to leave this and then the pigeons to come in and finish your peas off before you've even had a chance to get them protected. This way, the way we're doing it, the pigeons won't come into this. All these hedge trimmings, especially the ones with these side shoots on. Now the good thing about that is because the way the peas grow and they grow with their tentacles, you're going to be able to grip onto those things a lot easier than if they were ordinary bamboo canes. So if they were ordinary bamboo canes, they'd struggle. With these kind of twigs, they'll be able to grab onto these side branches a lot easier and climb up.
One more over here.
Save them for the others.
Put one over here so the pigeon doesn't fall over.
So that's our natural pea climbing frame. Now we've got this gutter that's empty. We're not going to just leave it empty. We're going to sow some more straight away so we can continue to get these successional harvests. So what you want to do is you want to try and maintain that harvest for as long as possible. So these will give you one harvest, and I'll plant some more peas now while the other ones are sprouting. These will be established and ready to flower and start producing while we're getting ready to plant the other ones out. Plant our peas into the gutter. Is first of all we'll line the bottom with compost. That's it. And then we go for a figure of 5 style of planting. And what I mean by figure of 5 is we go for to try to make the peas look like 5 face of a dice. So I'll show you what we mean. You could just throw them in. I mean, peas do absolutely fine overcrowded, so not a problem. You can soak these overnight. I've not found it makes a massive difference whether you soak them overnight or not. So this is what I mean. It looks like the face of a dice with the peas. So this variety of peas, these are called Kelvin Wonder. These Kelvin Wonder, they're a dwarf variety of peas. I mean, the last ones that we plant were Oregon Sugar Snap, or Oregon Sugar Pod rather. So that's our peas in. They're heavily planted, and we're gonna cover this with compost now. Lots and lots of compost on top.
All the way to the top.
So we're gonna fill our gutter all the way to the top with compost.
There's just a bit more seeds.
Are you chucking more in? Stop it. With that now, I'll expect those to be ready to plant out within about 2 weeks. We should be in a position to plant them out like we did with the other ones. Now the other ones that we planted were in our 5 fast growing crop video. If you haven't seen that, do go and check that out, because in that video we gave you some tips on some really fast growing crops ready for harvest in less than about 2 months. We're just going to water the other ones in as well. So it's really important to water them in straight away and give them a good amount of water. Just try and water at the base. And that'll help settle their roots. Peas are those kind of plants that don't like their roots being disturbed. That's the whole reason that we planted them in the gutter, so we could get them started early, get them transplanted without them even noticing that they've been moved. I hope you like that video. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for me, subscribe, and leave me a comment and let me know what you think. And I'll see you on the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.